Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Steez here, and welcome back to another video with the release of Super Mario Bros. Movie. Oh wait, yeah, it's been released a long time already, but I have finally saw it in the theaters. Even though I have seen it mostly two times, like you all probably know how it went. I don't need to explain more of that. And I've been like reviewing most of them being rants, reviewing all the Illumination movies from Despicable Me until now. Yeah, I figured it's a perfect time for me to give you guys my ranking of all the Illumination movies. So Illumination, you all know how much I hate Illumination. It is the worst studio of all time. And I know I've been getting a lot of backlash for hating Illumination, but you can't convince me to change my mind on Illumination because because this studio is truly bad. Yeah, it is just an awful studio. I think this studio deserves to be recognized more when it's a bad movies. Even though there's still Illumination movies that I really like, and some of them I think are just solid. If you've seen that Schaeferless's Illumination ranking video, which by the way, that is my favorite Schaeferless video. I just really enjoy seeing him rage at the bad Illumination movies, specifically the ones he hates. Like there are some places on unlisted I disagree with, especially with a certain one. I'll get to like later, but yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you probably saw how he ranked it. He put the where he started with the best Illumination movie and worked his way up to the worst Illumination movies. That's exactly how I'm gonna rank this movie. The bottom of the list goes to the best Illumination movies, and then the top of the list goes to the worst ones. So yeah, without further ado, here is my ranking of all Illumination movies from the best to the going down to the worst. Coming number 13, the best Illumination movie is without a doubt the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Yeah, I think you all know this is my favorite movie, and this is a lot of my friends' favorite Illumination movie too. And yeah, I mean, despite what the critics think, I actually don't really care. I mean, I'm not gonna like rage at the critics just for rating an animated movie, giving animated movie a written score. But it's just unfair how forget about the critics. But yeah, Super Mario Bros. Movie. This movie is just a lot of fun. This doesn't even feel like an Illumination movie, which is probably why it's the best Illumination movie. I mean, this feels like a blockbuster. It feels like I'm watching a big blockbuster. It's like I'm watching a superhero movie, a big action movie, just disguised as an animated movie. And yeah, this animation is just breathtaking. It's really hard to believe that Illumination would do this because usually you all know how their animation is. They just like to play it safe as much as possible. But this one is just gorgeous. And it's just like a lot of fun with so much action, great characters, and Princess Peach. And I'll say, yeah, you all know how much I love Princess Peach. I raved about her for as long as I could in my initial Super Mario Bros. Movie review. So yeah. No, the only Illumination movies that could maybe top this one are the R-rated animated movies. Yeah, and yes, I haven't forgotten that Illumination is actually making R-rated movies, and I'm super hyped for them because they're R-rated. But as far as family Illumination movies goes, nothing will top this one when it comes to the ones for families. Coming number 12 is Despicable Me 1, the one that people still say is the best Illumination movie to this day, and for good reason. Yeah, this now when it comes to my when it came to my initial review for Despicable Me, I gave it a 7 out of 10. But looking back on this film, I actually now raised my rating to an 8 out of 10. This movie is just really good, and even though I didn't really say a lot of things in my review, I still think that I can totally see why this is a fan favorite Illumination movie. Well, actually, I think Mario is more the fan favorite, but this one is mostly the favorite when it comes to critics. I mean, this movie has such a great concept of a villain trying to find love through these girls who are the best Despicable Me characters ever. I think I said in my Despicable Me review that Lucy is my favorite. Well, actually, I think Margot's still my favorite. I mean, but and Margot and Agnes are still my favorite. Yeah. I don't know about Edith because I don't really like feel much from her. I say I prefer Lucy over Edith. But when it comes to these, but I'd say I like Margot and Agnes equally because they both got equal time to shine. Shine. This one, Margot truly shines. This one as the mature mature like character, like probably the most mature character in this in these Despicable Me films. I mean, I just, but yeah, this movie also has such great action scenes as well. Although I will say that the animation is really outdated, and Vector is an overrated villain. Or like, I mean, some people say that Vector is not good, but a lot of people seem to really meme him, and it's kind of like, I don't really care. But yeah, I think I was a little too harsh when it comes to the high scenes. I think they're pretty good, but I think it's just that the storyline with Gru and being a father to the girls is really good. It's the highlight of the film for me. Coming number 11 is Despicable Me 2. Yeah, the fan favorite Despicable Me film. I've heard some people say that this is the best film, and I can totally see why. I think this is yeah, this movie is actually a lot better than I remember it being a rewatch, and I just really enjoy this movie. Elma Cho is the best best villain in the Despicable Me franchise, and my second favorite Illumination villain, right behind Bowser. Yeah, and this has the best animation in the Despicable Me franchise, and honestly, and I absolutely love the addition of Lucy. Such a perfect addition, and Agnes is the standout for me. Agnes is a standout for me. I just love her. I love how they took away that whole her obsessing about you obsessing about the unicorn subplot because but you know what? Actually, the more I think about it on reflection, I think Margot is truly the best character. Thinking about it, yeah. Inez is my second favorite Despicable Me character, but I just love Margot for her maturity. Even though she kind of received a downgrade in this one when it comes to her character, I mean, she's still like really good. I do think that this movie is flawed. I mean, the story is a little messy. It does have a messy plot that can't decide if it wants to be a spy movie or a romance movie. Some really unnecessary subplots and characters that didn't need to be in this one, especially Jill and Shannon, who are the worst characters in the movie. But yeah, this movie also has some really good action as well, and the evil minions are the best minions. Like they feel like horror, they feel like horror movie characters. Like that scene where Margot looks out the window because they heard something, and then this one evil minion. I think that was Kevin. Yeah, made a huge jump scare on Margot, and then and he attacks them, and then Agnes just screams really loud, like and it breaks everything. Yeah, that was the best scene in the entire Despicable Me franchise. Like Illumination also really had the guts to include a jump scare. Well, to be fair, Mario movie did have a jump scare as well, when like specifically in the Luigi in the dungeon scene, like the dark forest scene. But yeah, now yes, this is unfortunately the last good Illumination movie on this list. The last time I'm gonna be talking good about Illumination. Now this list is gonna take a downward spiral, like downward spiral. Yeah, yeah. You remember that scene from the Shape Fest video? Yeah. Now we're getting into the bad Illumination movies, and there are 10 of them. Wow. Coming number 10 is The Secret Life of Pets 2. Yeah, now, yeah, we are now reaching the bad ones, and The Secret Life of Pets 2 is the best of the bad Illumination movies, but it's still bad either way. I really don't get what people like about this movie. I mean, yeah, I still got a comment saying that this movie is good. Even some of the Illumination haters think it's good. Just tell me like what you think is good about this movie. I really want to know why you like this movie. Like no one really explains it. Like no one really explains why they like this movie. Not to attack anyone. I hope you don't think that the animal torture stuff is a flaw, and the violence is a flaw, because I think the violent stuff and the animal torture stuff is the best thing I can say about this movie, because I love violence in movies, and I think this movie was not really afraid to have some violence and animal abuse. I mean, it really is kind of a risk. I'm not trying to be heartless and say, oh, animals deserve to get tortured. I think it's just a risk that they took. And also, I do like that Harrison Ford is in it and Patton Oswalt as well. Harrison Ford is probably the reason why this movie is like not the worst because it's Harrison Ford. And maybe if you took out that and just took out the tiger thing, this movie would have been good. But seriously, this movie is just nothing. Yeah, this movie just feels like nothing. It's just basically a bunch of TV show episodes just shoved into one movie, and it's just so lazy. Yeah, the writers like it's such a lazy effort for these writers to just come up with random plots and then just shove them into one movie. It's like they have no idea what the storyline they want to go with. Yeah, I mean, yeah, even if you like the film, maybe you'll find it enjoyable. But you must admit, yeah, the story is bad. It can't get a pass because it's just so, like, and even like the story itself is so bland and watered down and paper thin, especially the one with the Gidget trying to rescue Busy. I mean, these stories can be told in a 5 minute short. Yeah, this movie just really has no story. Really has no story to it, and it's just yeah. I think this is a worse made movie than the first film. If it wasn't for the redeeming qualities, this actually would have been even worse than the first movie. But on a writing standpoint, it is worse. But yeah, at least it isn't a Toy Story 2 ripoff. But I take stories that rip off other movies any day and then not having a plot. Unless if it's something like Babylon and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I can forgive them for having a lack of plot because if you can see the point of those films. Coming number nine is the first Secret FF movie. Again, one of the more tolerable Illumination movies, but this I mean, but these nine Illumination movies are all 1 out of 10, and they're all just so bad. Yeah, the Secret Life of Pets. The reason why it is one of the more tolerable Illumination movies is because it does have the one scene I kind of like is when they kill the snake. And I like how they had the balls to kill off a character, but that's just not enough to save this snooze fest of a movie, this Toy Story rip-off movie. Yeah, and it's true. We can all agree that this movie is a Toy Story rip-off. Yeah, it's so obvious. Like the writers that didn't even try to make it obvious. I mean, it's just that thought. I mean, no, refresh it. The writers thought that it would be an obvious Toy Story rip-off, but we can see it. Yeah, it's. Yeah, Max's Woody, Duke is Sid, no, Duke is Buzz, and yeah, and not only does this rip off Toy Story, but this rips off Toy Story 2 as well. Basically, the Toy Story 2 rip off part is where you have all these supporting characters they'll come together to rescue the main character like and it's so similar. And also there's this chase scene at the end, which is like so similar to the airplane scene, just without an airplane. And yeah, this movie is so boring. It's also so mean spirited. People say Toy Story movie, so people say Toy Story is mean spirited, but this movie is just so mean spirited. I cannot stand Max and Duke. They're just like awful. Gidget is so annoying. Snowball is also annoying, and really can't stand Kevin Hart voicing him. It's just so cringe worthy. I mean, no, it's just so not cringe worthy, but it's off. And yeah, this movie's just forgettable. Like this movie just once there's like a lot of it does take a moment for a bunch of shenanigans, but yeah, just at the end it's just forgettable. Oh, and don't get me started on this movie. Advertising Sing by putting a poster in it. We'll get to that later. Coming number 8 is the Grinch. Yeah, these 8 movies are truly bad. Yeah, really, really, really bad. And and these movies really made me rage. But yeah, these movies are actually just as bad as one another. Yeah, these are just pathetic. Yeah, and the Grinch is no exception. This is the worst Grinch movie by a landslide, and I actually watched the Mean one for the first time just the day after rewatching this so-called Grinch movie, and I gotta say yeah the Grinch yeah I gotta say I actually enjoyed the Mean one. Yeah, I think the Mean one is actually solid. Yeah, sure it's not as good as the Josh Jones version, and Probably not as good as that Jim Carrey version, which I'm still thinking about. I think it's on par with the Jim Carrey version. Like it is like there's no denying that the main one is not as bad of a Grinch movie as this version that thinks it's the Grinch but it's not yet. I mean, if Illumination really wanted to take the risk in order to have Mario stay true to the games, why can't they do this to the Grinch and make it like stay true to the source material? I mean, they literally watered this down just to make it for kids, just because it's a kids film. And my God, it is so yeah, it is so pathetic that they actually they do this. Benedict Cumberbatch, one of the most disappointing performances I've ever seen. This is his worst performance. Yeah, just watch Doctor Strange instead if you want to see a good Benedict Cumberbatch performance. And yeah, I hate this bitch. He's so, like he doesn't do anything like too mean. Like he only, all he does is just be a jerk. But he everything he does it's so like lowbrow and so it's not intimidating. It's so much so that yeah, this movie is yeah, because this movie is for babies. Yeah, all Illumination cares about is making their movie like just for kids, and I can see why this is one of the lesser popular Illumination movies. Yeah, this is the Illumination movie that not many people talk about, and my God, this movie is so slow. This is probably the most boring Illumination movie. Yeah, this is the shortest Illumination movie, but my God, it feels like it's taking forever. And the high scenes only like last for like 5 minutes of the movie. Yeah. So what is the point? And also the Grinch actually does good things. Before the before like he actually redeems himself. Like why? Yeah, this movie clearly misses the point of the Grinch, and Illumination, please do not make any more of these of these Dr. Seuss book adaptation. Don't thankfully you haven't touched some of my absolute favorite Dr. Seuss book yet, Wacky Wednesday and Green Eggs and Ham. Please do not make those movies. I swear to God, Illumination, just stop with these Dr. Seuss movies. Just yeah, make more Nintendo movies. Coming number 7 is Minions: The Rise of Gru. Yeah. This is the most overrated Despicable Me movie ever, and yeah, my God, I have no idea why this movie was even made. Yeah, I don't know why this movie was even made in the first place. Yeah, the only reason they made this movie is because the first Minions movie made a lot of money, and I'm certainly going to get the Minions real soon. But yeah, Minions Rise of Gru is better than Minions Despicable Me 3, but it's still bad. Yeah, it's still on the bad side. Yeah, I think this. Yeah, the problem with this movie is that it's a Minions movie. I mean, literally, you can't make a movie about Minions working even if you attempt to, because these Minions are these Minions just you can't connect with them. All they do is just speak gibberish, and I'll talk more about that when I talk about the first Minions. But yeah, this one, I think the one thing that really pissed me off about this movie is how it erases canon to the first two Despicable Me 1 and 2. Not specifically the first one, by literally just yeah, by making all those references literally and like okay, I'm lost. Oh yeah, well, Gru's origin story is wrong. Like Despicable Me 1 already already like told us like what the origin story is, and also, why is Vector already alive at this time when like he's like decades younger than Gru? Like why? So yeah, and also the only reason people like this movie is because Gru is in it, but like and Despicable Me 3 was hated. So I don't know why you guys suddenly just say, oh, Gru's in it, so therefore this movie is good. Yeah, and yeah. Oh, I think people like this movie because it has references to Despicable Me 1. Yeah. So yeah. Coming number 6 is Minions. Yeah, Minions. Yeah, this movie is pretty much the definition of a cash grab, and I really hate this movie. Yeah, this movie is lucky enough to not make the top 5, but it's still a horrible movie. Yeah, this movie really shouldn't have been made. I don't know. the only reason people made this movie is because of money, money, money. Yeah, Illumination is a far more of a cash grab studio than Disney. I mean, at least Disney puts their heart into their movies, and they're actually mature and tell like actual good stories. Illumination, on the other hand, they don't need to try because they know that they're gonna make money, so they can still make the movie bad on purpose. Yeah, this movie was already set up to fail in the first place. I wish I already saw this coming. I knew that this movie was going to be bad in the first place, and it really is bad because I really cannot stand the minions. They're just so annoying. I don't even care about them in the first two Despicable Me movies. Yeah, they just get worse. And this is the start of the age of well, oh, we're just gonna keep making bad movies. Not the bad movies. We're not gonna try. This movie is pretty much set the low for Illumination. Yeah, and Scarlet Overkill is such a disappointing villain. I mean, she had potential, and she's the most tolerable thing about this movie, but they really wasted her up. I think Scarlet Overkill is my top three Illumination villains, right behind Bowser and El Macho, but it certainly does not say much because I mean literally her reason for wanting to attack the maze is so dumb. I just when he thought Scarlet Overkill would have just forgave him, she still like hates the minions for no reason. She has no reason now because they I don't know it just makes me cringe and yeah, this movie is just a complete waste of time, and yeah. But oh boy, now let's get into the top five. Comment number five is Hop. Yeah, majority's least favorite Illumination movie. And I can totally see why. Yeah, it's not my worst Illumination movie. But it is still a horrible movie. Yeah. This is the worst of the This is without doubt the worst animation live action animation hybrid I have ever seen in my life. Yeah. Now, I mean, I'm not gonna say this movie is bad just because it's live action. Unlike some people, like they say, "Oh, why did Illumination make a live action movie?" This is bad because you can't make a live action movie. But I mean, this movie's bad not just because it's live action. I mean, even if it's a live action movie, it's still a movie made for babies. Yeah, and this is the worst movie I have seen in 2011. It's worse. It's worse than Jack and Jill. And and even if I hate even if most people say that Hop is the worst television movie, I still feel like the biggest Hop hater because yeah, this movie pretty much ruins Easter. And this movie is so dumb. I mean, human Easter bunny? Are you serious? Like it's so heavy. Why? I mean, I'd rather let a chick be the new Easter bunny than a human. That's just so dumb. Yeah, because that's exactly what this movie is. It's dumb, and the writers clearly have no idea what they're doing. Yeah, like yeah, Evie is the worst rabbit. I mean, I take Peter Rabbit any day over this movie, and yeah, I hate the main character. I hate every single character in this. It's just forgettable and so dumb. If you want to see a movie for Easter, a movie that's starring a bunny that you can actually like, just watch Zootopia. Even if it has nothing to do with Easter, it still has a bunny as the main character, so it's worthy. Or if you want to see a better movie that represents Easter, just watch Rise of the Guardians. Even if it's more of a Christmas movie, it does represent different holidays, so that counts. Comment number four is the Lorax. Oh my god, this movie is just torture. This movie is so painful to watch, and this movie is like the Cat in the Hat level bad. And honestly, the more I think about it, I'm gonna say it now. The Lorax is the worst Dr. Seuss adaptation I have ever seen. It is worse than the Cat in the Hat. And I can't believe I'm saying that because the Cat in the Hat was already bad enough and it does deserve all the hate it gets. But the Lorax is just, I mean, more painful to watch. This is Food Fight level bad. Yeah, thankfully this didn't surpass Food Fight. Food Fight is the worst movie of the year. Food Fight is still the worst, but when it comes to mainstream anime movies, this one takes the lowest. And yeah, oh my god, I hate everything about this movie. This movie is just such a waste. Yeah, literally, I kind of forgot everything about this movie, but all I remember is getting really pissed off about this movie. I mean, this movie features the worst soundtrack I have ever seen put to film. Every single songs are either forgettable or annoying. There's not one single good musical number. And as a musical fan, I feel insulted by this movie being a musical. It shouldn't have been one. And the dialogue is so cringy, like especially when it attempts to rhyme, but the rhyming is just and yeah, and all the characters are so unlikable, like either boring or unlikable. The ones on the town side, I don't even remember what it's called though, but yeah, the ones on like the main town in present day, they're all like just boring, watered down characters. I mean, oh Harry did not need to be in this movie. Like he's like he, I mean, there's no need for old Harry to be in this movie when you already have a villain. But my God, when it comes to the flashback scenes, that's when the movie really makes me truly mad. Yeah, yeah, the flashback side of the story is probably some of the worst things I've ever seen from Illumination. It is just so like so agonizing, especially with the one slur. It's just annoying, and I hate everything about him, his family, and yeah. I never want to see this movie in my face ever again. Yeah, this movie is just truly bad, and also let's not forget the message. Yeah, the movie like constantly trying to shove the message down in your face. Yeah. So yeah, I hate this movie with every fiber of my being. Yeah. Coming number three is Despicable Me 3, the worst Despicable Me movie I have ever seen. This was the yeah now you want to know why I actually had to put this in my top three? Well, despite well Minions may be a worst made film, but at least Minions had a good excuse to be bad because it's just it's just unnecessary, and even the material they were given, they can't make a good movie out of it. But Despicable Me 3, there is no excuse for this movie to be this bad. Yeah, you literally have the characters from the first two movies. The first two movies were good, so this one should have been good as well. I mean, you literally got Gru and Lucy back. You got the girls back. You got the girls back, and you and also the Despicable Me film. So like, what can this movie go wrong? But oh my gosh, yeah, this was the time when I was officially done with Illumination, because this was the time when Illumination just stopped trying. Just when you thought you could actually make a good movie, this can redeem Illumination. No, they just completely run out of ideas. I mean, yeah, Drew is the worst Despicable Me character. Tied with another character who I'll get to shortly. Yeah, the worst character, and even like the characters we knew and loved from the first from the first two movies are wasted. Gru and Lucy, and even the girls are wasted. Margot is the most horrible character in this, like the best part, but she's just so bland. Like, but they literally had to rehash her arc. You heard that boyfriend arc from the second film, and also this movie is basically just a reverse role, where like where with the stay at home stuff, in with a parent thing, where like in Despicable Me 2, Gru becomes the overprotective parent, and then in this one Lucy becomes the overprotective parent. Yeah, yeah, not gonna work out. This movie has so much side plots to it, and it just doesn't help. And Agnes is, I can't believe how annoying Agnes is. I mean, I get it, she's obsessed with Unicorn, but at least she isn't really annoying about it. But this one, oh my god, she's just stupid. Yeah, like when she thinks of she gets a goat instead of like unicorn, and literally a screaming goat. Ugh. And Balthazar Brandon is the worst Despicable Me villain I have ever seen. I think, oh yeah, not even only that, but the worst Illumination villain in general. Oh, and yeah, I've been a bad boy. Yeah, that's pretty much the filmmakers why they made this movie. Yeah, just, oh yeah, I can't believe Illumination has hit rock bottom with this one. Um, I can and let's see how much worse than Despicable Me 4 can get. But oh boy, there were two films that I think are even worse than this, and you already know what they are because you haven't seen them. Me talk about them yet. Coming number two is Sing. Oh, screw this movie, big time. As a musical fan, this movie really broke me. Yeah, this movie literally broke me to the highest level, and this is literally the trolls of Illumination. And this movie is such an embarrassment. Yeah, and seeing this movie for my 30th birthday is like probably the worst thing I could even do for my birthday. Period. I should have saw La La Land instead, but yeah, Sing is just everything wrong with Illumination in general. Like, how they just played safe throughout and not even try to take risks. Yeah, this movie is aimed for the lowest demographic possible. It is aimed for babies, and I mean babies only. Yeah, no one like even a kid with no brain would see like how would get bored to death with this agonizing film to sit through. How is this movie 2 hours long? I mean, this movie does nothing to fill the runtime except make subplots after subplots. There is no story to this. No story to this. I mean, there wasn't even a main character. Yeah, you would say, oh, Buster was the main character, but he feels more like the antagonist of the movie. Like, trying to like trick them into thinking they can win a prize just so that they can get the Buster show. I mean, I can't stand. And every single character are just nothing but stereotypes, just copying of characters from other movies and trying to make audiences think they can notice about it. And the songs, oh, I hate the songs so much. They really butchered them, especially my like they really butchered all of it all the time. Like but the song and I forgot to mention this in my initial rant and saying, but the song that they butchered up the most that really made me upset the most is Fireworks, because Fireworks is my favorite Katy Perry song, and I'm sure a lot of people also put it as their favorite Katy Perry song. But this movie just literally just screams, "We don't care, we're gonna make our own version and ruin it." And my God, every single singer said this are horrible. And but the most upsetting thing about this movie is how it wastes such a big cast. You got Matthew McConaughey, Scarlett Johansson, Reese Witherspoon, Taron Egerton, all those Oscar worthy actors who actually got award recognized. How could they be in this film, especially Scarlett Johansson, aka Black Widow? There's like if you want to see a better movie like that tells a story better about show business, just watch The Greatest Showman. That movie is a masterpiece. And if this movie came out after The Greatest Showman, I would have called this The Greatest Showman ripoff. But yeah, you all know what is the worst Illumination movie, the bottom of the barrel, and one of the worst movies I have ever seen in my entire life here. And the worst Illumination movie is Sing 2. I hate this movie so much. I will never understand why people like this movie so much. There is nothing to like about this empty void of a movie. This is one of the most painful movies I ever had to sit through. And this is the Trolls World Tour of Illumination. This is the worst movie of 2021, and I cannot even stress enough. Yeah, then people like this movie. People will say this movie is better than No Way Home. I'm sorry, but if you think this movie is better than No Way Home, then you need serious help. Because No Way Home is way better than this piece of animated movie. This movie is everything wrong with animated movies, period. And not only is this movie bad, but it left such a toxic impact on its so-called fans. And this movie is just 2 hours of torture. This movie is basically the same as the first film. And after rewatching Scene 2, after rewatching the first scene, I could definitely confirm that this movie is literally the exact same thing as the first movie. I mean, this movie, you have your auditions, you have your rehearsals, gives the writers time to waste their time with subplots and then the main show at the end. And I mean, it's bigger, but bigger doesn't mean better. I mean, this animation is just ugly looking and makes me want to vomit. The characters are just, are even more agonizing than the first movie, especially the new characters like, the wolf, bad guy, Clay Calloway, the most generic, another generic stereotype character, and the worst character in the movie, Portia. Yeah, Portia. Uh, I can't stand like Portia. I can't believe some people said that Halsey, the actress who voiced Portia, should have played Mrs. Peach. I'm sorry, but that is BS. I mean, Anya Taylor-Joy was already perfect for Princess Peach. If Halsey voiced Princess Peach, then it could have like ruined her character. Yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy was the only one who could truly make this Peach feel like Peach, or maybe Kristen Bell. But yeah, I hope that she plays Daisy in Mario 2. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, Sing 2 is the most overrated movie I have ever seen in my life, and I will, and even if you try to explain to me what's good about this movie, I still wouldn't understand because yeah, this movie is truly bad. I mean, this is probably my second worst movie of all time. Yeah, you all know the Trolls movies are still the worst, but that's just another thing for rant for another day. Sing 2 is the number one worst Illumination movie of all time. Woo, man, doesn't it feel so good to bash the studio? So yeah, that's all for my ranking of all the Illumination movies. Surprised it's shorter than my Despicable Me 3 rant. And yeah, so yeah, what is your opinion on Illumination? Do you defend the studio, or you agree with me that the studio is the worst? And what is your favorite Illumination movie? Who agrees that the Mario movie is the best Illumination movie and Sing 2 is the worst? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for more videos to come. Probably what my start talking about the Peter Pan movies leading up to the new Peter Pan and Wendy movie. So yeah, bye guys.